up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
What's up is PIXELMANIA 4, which you will get in the back half of this episode. Can you believe we've been doing these for 4 years?
I can't believe it.
It's hard to believe. This is our anniversary, as Wrestlemania always is.
Which means we've been doing this show for like 6.
I know, that's also incredibly hard to believe. But yeah, I mean, we will break down Wrestlemania later on in the show. We will give you fair warning if you're not a wrestling fan. Don't worry, as we always do.
I don't think we should. Fuck it.
I mean, it's happening after the Amazon read, just so you guys know. So that's how it's going down. Real quick, some housekeeping before we get started. Go to youtube.com/densepixels. Subscribe to our channel. While you are there, hit the bell icon. You'll be notified whenever we post new videos, which includes videos of this podcast, plus whatever other shenanigans we post up there. No clips this week, but usually we share 2 clips during the week of the show. That is for you guys to share with your friends, tell them about the greatness that is Dense Pixels, and get us some new listeners. So look out for those and make sure you share them out with your friends on social media. If you are not a premium member for TNP Studios, remedy that immediately. And go to densepixels.com/premium, pay $5 a month or $50 for the entire year to get access to our premium content, including the Look Forward Political Podcast, the No Time to Bleed Action Movie Podcast, the Men with the Golden Tongues James Bond Movie Podcast, and the Airing Grievances Seinfeld Podcast. So check those out as well, densepixels.com/premium. And no matter what podcatching app you choose to use, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, or whatever else, you can find us there. Make sure you subscribe to the show in your podcaster of choice. So new releases this week. We're getting right into it. The only retail release is a game called Extinct that is coming out for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This is the new game from Iron Galaxy, makers of Killer Instinct. It's getting some under the radar buzz, I guess.
The hell is it?
I know it's an action game where you are trying to prevent the extinction of the human race from like trolls or something of that nature. So,
I've seen the trailer for this game. Oh, this is from. Oh, okay. I remember seeing this.
Yeah. So check that out if you are starving for a new game. But remember, God of War is only like a week and a half away. On the digital side, quite a few releases this week. Regalia of Men and Monarchs, a tactics role-playing game coming out for the Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. Owlboy coming out for PS4 and Xbox One. Project Nimbus Code Mirai. This is a Gundam game for the PS4. A couple PlayStation VR releases. Rick and Morty Virtual Rickality and Time Carnage, which looks like Time Crisis mashed with Dino Crisis, and it looks awful. It's coming out for PlayStation VR. RoboCraft Infinity, Ease Origin, Hellblade, and the 3 of those games are coming out for Xbox One, and then Don't Starve is getting a release on the Nintendo Switch this week. Has anyone checked out Time Carnage? Because like I said, the cover looked just atrocious from that.
PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
None of us have that.
Well, I'm just saying if we Google, because usually
yeah.
if I make a note of a terrible game, I notice the highlight immediately happen around.
Time Carnage sounds like a terrible like Walmart brand light gun game.
I mean, this looks like a dinosaur shooter just made with Unreal Engine assets, basically. Not too.
Yeah, this is real rough looking.
Wow.
It's a hard pass for me, I'll say.
Yo, what the fuck is this?
Is this like what first person shooters do in virtual reality? The gun literally floats in the air.
God,
this is offensive.
I've actually played an FPS in VR.
Oh,
I figured
some
they would
people
be only games worthy of the VR experience, right?
But you're not moving. You're stationary, and it's just a shooting gallery.
We said it before.
Robots and dinosaurs.
PlayStation, you need to be a little more discerning with what games end up on your platform.
Yeah, man.
You have the opposite problem of Microsoft. Microsoft has no games. You guys have way too many. Not that this is a first party release, but still. And then in a release date announcement, Spider-Man finally getting a release date September 7th, 2018 to the PlayStation 4 system exclusively. There's also a big collector's edition coming out that comes with a Spider-Man statue, of which they've not revealed the bottom of the statue yet. All they've shown is Spider-Man crouching on top.
Yeah, apparently the reveal is probably going to be some sort of spoiler.
But it's still gonna be revealed before the game releases.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're not ready to reveal Venom yet or whatever. Yeah, so Game Informer, the day it was announced, Game Informer dropped the release date at 11 a.m. on that Tuesday. I set a timer on my phone, set an alarm, and I made it sound like the phone was ringing, right? Not just any like random timer. I made it sound like the phone ringing so that I could excuse myself from the meeting that I knew I was going to be in so I could pre-order this game.
Nigga, I swear to fucking God, I ain't never heard no shit like that in my goddamn life.
Are you before anyone at home
serious?
Before anyone at home is like, well, I understand, if you wanted the collector's edition, he's got to go. No. Micah pre-ordered the digital version of the game.
Oh yeah, the
version that's not going to sell out because it's impossible to sell out.
You don't know. You don't know.
Oh my God. It's sickness.
Yo, are you fucking serious?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I had to make sure. I had to make sure.
What?
I had to make sure that I didn't forget to do it.
Yeah, nigga, you weren't gonna forget to reserve a Spider-Man game.
Plus, again, it is not like you don't have 5 months between now and the
you never know, man. You never know. That digital copy might sell out. You don't know.
That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my entire life. Yo.
And one last release announcement. To the shock of nobody, because of the success of the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Activision is going back to the well again, this time for the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which is coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on September the 21st. It is going to include the first 3 games in the series, which is Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, remastered in high definition. This is being handled by the developer Toys for Bob, which is the creator of the Skylanders series. So I guess it's safe to assume that they're done with all that at this point.
Can somebody explain to me why Spyro was popular? Didn't he come out at the tail end of the mascot gaming scene?
It did, but it's still dated. For those you young bucks that weren't around back in the mid to late 90s, back when the PlayStation 1 first came out, 3D mascot platformers were all the rage.
Yeah, man.
Then. And there were a lot of franchises that don't hold up, that were really popular.
Like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, exactly.
I, for the life of me, I've never played a Crash Bandicoot until I had to play it in Uncharted 4. And I was just like, what is this? Why am I running at the screen? Why am I? Nah. Couldn't do it.
Carrie was very excited about this announcement because she was a child back then.
This is like an infant back then, though.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the first Spyro game since 2008's The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, unless, of course, you count all of the Skylanders games, which prominently featured Spyro the Dragon in those as well. So those are your new game announcements for this week. Allow me to pass the baton to Terrence with our headlines.
Right, I was looking at something on Facebook. Sorry. First up, Final Fantasy 15 has 4 more episodes coming in 2019.
Hey,
that's
man.
the new one, right? That's not the online one, right? That's 14. Right?
That's the boy band one. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Is it free?
Oh no,
probably not.
Oh no, you're gonna pay for those.
I mean, you won't get another Final Fantasy game until 2065. So, you gotta milk this one for all you can.
Stretch that shit out. Is this the first time they've ever done this? Besides the the online, when it just really? Yeah, I guess so. Because this one took 17 years to come out. So yeah, I guess it would. This would be like the first one.
They're doing your favorite thing ever.
What's that?
In the last bit of content, which is called Episode 3, The Final Strike, it is going to feature, quote, a grand alternate finale for Final Fantasy 15, aka the true ending.
Yo. All right.
These are some interesting titles. The Conflict of the Sage, The Beginning. These sound like these sound very Star Warsy.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah, I didn't play the game, so I don't know how.
The
Choice of Freedom and the Final Strike. Huh.
Sounds like a trilogy of like jingoistic American movies starring Gerard Butler.
The Final Strike.
Olympus, the beginning of the end. Olympus, the choice of freedom. Olympus, the final strike.
Now,
like, you trying to tell me that's not the next in the Olympus saga?
Now, are we
What
sure
is the next one in the Olympus saga?
Are we sure that when
there's
they say
another
the
one.
Conflict of the Sage, they're not referring to like the spice sage that you put into like a cup noodles, for example?
Don't do it.
They're like co-branding that we don't know about yet.
Stop it.
Please don't.
Please. Like, don't. I mean, that's pretty cool. Apparently, people really enjoy this game. Is it like $20 yet?
No, they just released a new edition that's like full price that has all the, well, I guess the initial.
Well, they released it on the PC too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's supposed to look way better.
And they also released the mobile version, which looks way worse.
Why would you do?
Because Square likes money.
I don't do mobile games. Next, yeah, they bother me. Oh, next up, Overwatch League indefinitely suspends a player due to. What the fuck is wrong with yo?
Oh, wait till you read the story because I know you haven't read it yet.
I haven't read. I couldn't.
Oh, just wait. It's gonna. Your blood ain't boiled yet.
After sexual misconduct allegations. Update. Wait, what? Boston Uprising terminates Dream Casper's contract. Okay, let's read this. The Overwatch League suspended Jonathan Dream Casper Sanchez indefinitely after allegations of sexual misconduct involving a Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Sanchez, who was commonly referred to as DK and played for the Boston Uprising, became a subject of conversation. So wait. So the fan was 14. Nigga, what is this? We just did a movie.
Let's say, what is this? Roxanne? Yeah. Nerdy Roxanne.
So she's 14 and he's 21. Come on, yo. Come on. Yo.
There are pictures of the screen caps. And it's not good. Not looking good.
Oh, screen what the she
of the conversation between the two of them.
Did he know she was 14?
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know, but still, you shouldn't be talking to women like this, yo.
I was like, wait, she's listening to Selena Gomez. I'm sorry, that's just funny to me. Because clearly she's a child, but he doesn't see that. But what? God damn it! If you guys look, I'm not reading this shit. But if you want to read it, I guess it's going to be in the show notes. Is it?
In a statement from the alleged claims that early into the friendship with this gentleman, she told him that she was only 14.
Well, fuck you, bro.
Which did not deter his interest.
Yeah, that's gross, my nigga. Like, come on, stop doing this shit. But I'm looking at the Twitter feed of this, and they had the Chris Hansen picture. That's what I like. Like, I'm sorry, that shit's funny. Yeah, this is unacceptable. She said she was 14. What are you fucking doing? Like,
shit is gross, yo. I don't know what to do, yo. Like on the one hand, like I'm scared to death of having a daughter, and on the other hand, like I'm scared that I would raise my daughter to hate men. You know what I mean? And like. Like you're safe nowhere, ladies. You're safe nowhere. Don't trust anybody. None of them. They will all do you wrong.
I mean, look, I got nothing to say. Like, Jesus Christ.
There's one
This guy
comment
looks like a fucking creep
in the
too.
article from a gentleman by the screen name of Lurcaro that says, Step 1, play video games. Step 2, don't make racist comments. Step 3, don't sexually
slow your roll now. Like, racist comments are part of my fucking repertoire. I can't. That's something that I'm gonna have to work on. Continue. Go ahead.
It's not that difficult.
You're not black.
No, he's talking about the
the other shit. Oh, okay, yeah, the whole sexual harassment thing. Yeah, that's not difficult. Yeah. Stop fucking. Just stop.
Speaking as a white person, it's not difficult for white people to not make racist comments.
You sure about that?
It shouldn't be.
Because it doesn't seem like that's a thing.
As a human being, it shouldn't be.
Well,
yo, that shit is gross, yo. All right, you want to be grossed out? You want to be grossed out?
I don't know if I do.
Here's a skit. You probably saw it. The people listening haven't seen it. This is a screen cap of the victim. I guess getting DMs. I don't know. From Dreamcasper. Quote, I was like, I wonder if it feels weird.
Yeah, that's what I read. And that's what I'm not reading that.
If you were to give a hand job with those hands, yo, drop dead, dude.
Or
like, seriously, man.
Go to jail.
No, drop dead and then go to jail. Like die. Like you don't need to be breathing the same air that I'm breathing. You nasty motherfucker. You nasty motherfucker.
Oh, all that will make sense.
What you doing, Shantae? You got yourself an old man. This is Black on Black cinema.
Oh, these references will make sense to some of you people. They will eventually. But yeah, this is fucking disgusting. And like, I don't like at this point, like the internet has made this shit so visible, right? Like this shit is not new. They just didn't have the tools to do it so easily, but it's not new. Niggas have been doing this shit forever, and it's just like we see it every day, and the shit's disgusting. And I feel really sorry for you women. I really do, because it's fucked up, man. Like I can't imagine walking around as a woman. Like I'd be like, again, I said this on Black on Black. I'm surprised all women aren't lesbians at this point because like I can't imagine dealing with the shit that we put them through on a day-to-day basis. It's just weird.
You can't even play video games anymore.
Yeah, I can't get on. I wouldn't be able to get, as soon as they hear that you're a woman, somebody's going to slide into your DM and say some fucking derogatory shit.
Right. Or send you a dick pic.
Yeah, like, nah, yo, don't send dick pics.
Remember when the Xbox came out and the Kinect first came out?
Yeah, and you could play like poker.
You could play Uno. Uno.
Do I know? My wife was the recipient of one, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, wow. I was too. What the fuck? What the fuck is this, yo? Like, this is my first foray into online gaming and seeing people. Yo, what the fuck? Maybe some of your shriveled, wrinkled up ass white dick. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
It was A, and so they thought it was the feminine version.
Oh my god, man, it's fucking terrible, yo. Yo, if you're a woman and you listen to this, don't trust no man. Not even your father.
This is funny. It's not funny because it's kind of true, but at the same time, like, look, I don't know how y'all deal with us for real.
Fuck you, Jonathan Sanchez. Go to the fucking hell.
Anyway, good lord, every fucking week. What did this guy do? Next up, Cliffy B. His next game. Whatever, yo. Can I move to the next story? I don't care.
I mean,
an 80s themed battle royale game. Whatever, yo.
I just find it hilarious that they're like, the first game, hero shooters are all the rage.
Right. Oh shit, Fortnite.
All right, let's go to a battle royale game. All the kids are playing the battle royales now. Come on, Cliffy B.
Right. Radical Heights, yo. That's the name of the game, Radical Heights.
It's an 80s themed battle royale game. And you know it is because in this first screenshot that you see here, there's like an arcade or something or other that says Top Guns with a Z at the end of it, but it still looks like the Top Gun logo from the 80s.
The 80s were not good, guys. They weren't. They were not good. They were the Reagan era, guys. The Reagan era. Like you could buy cocaine from a CVS. Like that's how prevalent drugs were in the 80s. Like the 80s were not some magical fucking place, man. Like they just weren't. God damn it. Think of something else, man.
This is in Steam Early Access as soon as tomorrow or today as you're listening to this.
Yo, so all the even numbered all the even numbered decades suck. The 60s, we had to struggle through civil rights. The 80s were drug fueled. The 2000s have nothing special about them. Every even numbered decade sucks balls.
You're honest.
The 40s, the world was at war.
Right. The 20s.
Right. Exactly. The even numbered decades suck balls. Let's stop basing things on even numbered decades. Jesus Christ. I just get so sick and tired of everything. Like the 80s. Oh, it's the 80s, bro. It's the 80s. Remember Pac-Man? Like, just stop, yo.
Just stop. Thing about it is all of these people that are nostalgic for the 80s are like slightly older than us. So they were kids. They weren't doing shit. Like Cliffy B is what, 40?
Yeah.
Like in his early 40s. Like I was born in 81, so I'd have been 9 in 89. If he was born, say he was born in like 78, 76 or something like that. Okay. I guess you were like 14 when 1990 came along. What the fuck do you remember?
Right. You don't remember nothing from when you were 5.
So like you start like really remembering cool shit when you were in your teens.
Right.
Like you just hit your fucking teens in your 90s.
Years. I don't remember. Yeah, okay. Fuck the 80s.
I don't get it, but he kind of slapped his head. Oh, they're on a BMX bike. That's cool. Or a mongoose. That's the mode of transportation in this game.
Oh, a mongoose. Hey, that's an 80s thing. Oh, wait, no, it's not because mongoose still makes bikes. Like so it's not even like nostalgic because mongoose still makes bikes. Like, why don't you?
Oh man,
that was so 80s that it just kind of stuck there and languished and then just died. I hate it. I hate it.
All the worst Bond movies came out during the 80s too.
Of course, because the 80s fucking suck, man.
I don't understand the fondness for the 80s. Yeah, it had some decent music, whatever. But besides that, like, what the fuck else? The cars were terrible.
Hey, look, the 80s music wasn't better than the 70s music. Just wasn't.
No, they weren't. No. I would agree with you. Yeah, I'm not interested in this at all. Is it on like the consoles? Or is it just PC?
Not yet. I'm sure it will be at some point.
And to your point, Brad, like by the time this thing comes out, we're gonna be moved on to the next thing.
Absolutely. Or they'll make similar mistakes. Well, maybe not the same mistakes, but they'll make mistakes like they did with Lawbreakers.
Yeah. Like, remember when
I highly doubt he's going to dethrone Fortnite with Radical Heights.
Here's a fun quote from Mr. Clifford Blazinski. This is in the lead up to Lawbreakers when they talked about how Lawbreakers won't be a free to play game. He said, quote, we didn't really want to go down that well of buying energy or a lot of the sleazier techniques that feel like they've taken over a lot of free to play. A lot of core gamers still have this wincing reaction when you suggest that something's free to play because they feel like they're going to get ripped off. I wonder what he's going to say now.
Right. Remember when he himself created a genre in a game type?
No, I don't. Because that was 13 years ago.
And
on a console that I didn't own right away.
And technically he didn't create that genre. Remember? Because there was a game that came out before. I can't remember the name of it right now. What was the name of that game that came out on PlayStation 2?
Like Kill Switch?
Kill Switch.
Yeah.
That game was the exact same gameplay because I had that game as Gears of War. Yep. It was. It was a little slightly faster. But yeah, it had the exact same gameplay. But no one remembers that game. So Gears wasn't the first. So yeah, he's a thief.
God damn it.
Just like Radical Heights. I thought that was a joke. Whatever, Cliffy, you suck.
They are, man, video game industry, guys.
Right. Yeah, he could have saved fucking Resident Evil. Shut up. Save themselves. Oh man. And is this the final story? No, it's not. Next up, Monster Hunter World Spring Blossom Festival. Spring Blossom tickets, fireworks, and event rewards explained. I still don't know how to get the fucking Spring Blossom tickets just yet, and I've been playing this shit. But anyway, the Gathering Hub, also known as I've never been to the Gathering Hub. That's how you do it. Oh, well, there you go. I just learned something, guys. The Gathering
Darius has been playing Monster Hunter very antisocially, so much so that the social space is not even on his radar.
It really isn't. I just can't jump in other people's fucking games so I can beat some of these monsters because they're very difficult. But the Gathering Hub, also known as the Celestial, because I was like, how the fuck do you get to the Celestial Pursuit? I don't know what that is. And it's just a fucking Gathering Hub. Wow. Has been given a makeover, complete with dressed up vendors and Poogie flower, whatever. Spring Blossom vouchers and fireworks have been added as a new crafting item and consumable, respectively. Earned. Is that a word?
Perhaps in Europe it is. This is from Eurogamers.
Oh, okay. What kind of shit is
making up words over there? The old country.
Yeah, earned from logging in daily and completing bounties. Explained in more detail for whatever. So yeah, this is kind of cool because not only did they add they added a whole like spring thing. It goes on through the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. But there were like limited time events that you can only play for like a week or so, and then they would like rotate out new ones. All of them are available now. So if you missed like special costumes that you couldn't get before, like the what's her name? That was the chick from
Aloy?
Yeah, from that game. Whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember. You can now get that. I don't know if the Ryu costume came out yet.
I scrolled down. There's a character in this game called the Elder Melder.
Yeah, you can meld. Yeah, you can meld like items and charms and shit like that. But yeah, that's what it is.
Melder.
Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic.
This game it's fun and incredibly frustrating at the same time when you spend 40 minutes fighting an enemy and he just hits you with one hit and takes you out. That shit is fucking painful.
That sounds like just the type of game that Micah wants to play.
I can't remember the last time I turned on Monster Hunter. I made my character. I changed my character from a man to a woman because they gave you a free voucher because I didn't like the way my male character looked, and they don't have black hair, at least not for men. But I can kind of get away with having straight hair on a black woman. But I never went back to it. I get too frustrated. It takes way too long to kill those things, man. It takes way too long to kill them.
If you jump into a room with 4 people, yeah, it shit cuts it down tremendously, especially if it's people. If you jump in a bunch of Japanese people, which I seem to jump into a bunch of games with, because that game is incredibly popular overseas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just destroy. I put in work with them, but they know what they're doing. Like they can take out like the toughest enemies in like less than 5 minutes. It's crazy. Granted, you split all the money up between you.
Yeah, but I mean that's fine. Like I just want the satisfaction of like killing something, for God's sakes.
I just got an achievement for killing 500 monsters.
That's ridiculous. Fucking playing a Capcom game on your PS4. I never thought I'd see the day.
Last analyst deduct.
He's already giving up the ghost. Listen to this. Ain't even a no thing anymore.
Yeah. Look, Microsoft, you fucking up.
Welcome.
Said it last week. Or did I? I don't remember when I said it.
You know, I've been talking about for the past 2 weeks.
Look, yeah, they're pissing me.
Dimitri is getting ready to play that God of War. I'm just getting it for God of War.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. All right. I ain't seen you play a game when you fucking play Xbox One in months, nigga. You be on Pandora. I see you play that shit. That ain't a game. You be watching fucking Dragon Ball Z Super. That's not a game. When's the next game you gonna play? I ain't even seen you on Destiny 2, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? Nah, yeah.
That's how you know Destiny has fallen off.
When was the last time you played Destiny? or Brad, either one.
It's been a few weeks. I think at this point I'm just waiting for the next
expansion
drop. Yeah.
When was the Iron Banner?
It was supposed to be this week.
The last Iron Banner was when I played it
a month ago.
And they made some sort of update that was supposed to make everything move faster, but I haven't been on it, so trying to hurry up and get through Far Cry before next week.
Yeah, so in final words about that, you bought a $400 system, or however much you paid for it. You're gonna be playing more than 2 games. I guarantee it. You just are. You got State of Decay coming out on the Xbox One. I really want to play that. I really do want to play that. I really hope that game is good.
I kind of hope it's not. I just like not to be like an asshole. I just kind of hope it's not.
Oh man! And finally, analysts deduct GTA 5 has made more money than any film. What the fuck? Wow, that's insane.
This is why they take forever.
Book or game is according to this side.
Yeah, has made industry analyst Doug Kreutz. What?
Kreutz is probably how it's pronounced.
Kreutz. That's white. Says Grand Theft Auto 5 has made more money. Yeah, they skipped a word or they missed a word. Has made more money than any other form of media in history, with over 90 million units sold and $6 billion in revenue.
That's insane.
What the fuck does Rockstar have to? They don't have to do shit anymore.
So
they could literally
still play the game like that.
So when do you think Disney's acquiring Rockstar?
I think it might be the other way around.
One game. This is one product. It made $6 billion. Granted, it's over 5 years.
True,
still, man.
So that's still money.
Yeah, and the games are like $60 a piece. Well, not anymore. Like you can probably get like GTA 5 for like $20.
Like, what are people buying? Money.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need a lot of money to do the shit that they show you, and like those expansions.
Yeah,
to get like fucking planes and all those cars, and to be like a CEO of your own empire and all that shit. Yeah, I jumped on that game maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I had 2 million. And they were like, "Hey, if you want to become a CEO of your company, you got to drop $1 million." I was like, "Well, that's half my money going right there." and I put the $1 million in there, but I had to do something with a bank or something, and I didn't have enough to do that. So I was like, click. I just turn it off. Like I don't want to be a peasant in this game anymore.
So,
I got niggas running around on fucking yachts and shit. Like, what the fuck is going? And then there's helicopter. I'm like, all right, you know what? I don't want to be a bodyguard. I want to be the CEO. Fuck you.
So is it like Second Life?
It's got to be.
Maybe it's a more popular Second Life.
Yeah.
That has made $6 billion.
Wow,
that's crazy to me.
Playing a criminal in a video game.
And like I said, shockingly, among all the conversation, hemming and hawing, microtransactions, this and greedy companies,
no one said
and all this
goddamn thing about
damn thing about Grand Theft fucking Auto.
Right, that's what I said a couple months ago. I'm like, no one says anything about like the 2K games at all. Fucking WWE
did for like a week and a half before fucking Battlefront shit the bed and ruined everything for everybody else. They like that people at least brought it up because of the pay to win feel for 2K. But man, I've never heard a negative word said about GTA.
Wow,
in the terms
$6 billion, man.
It's a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of fucking money. Don't let anyone.
Like, that's how much
are a kids game anymore.
That's like how much the entirety of the Marvel movies is made.
That's
18 movies.
That's 1.5 times what Disney paid for Marvel.
Yeah.
To acquire all the Marvel.
Yeah, that's insanity.
They need half that.
Yeah, they could buy Star Wars if they wanted to.
They could.
They could buy Star Wars and just make Grand Theft Auto Star Wars and make another $6 billion.
That's nuts. Fucking nuts. GTA 5. I don't know if you're ever gonna get a GTA 6.
Right.
That have to get shut off at some point for that to happen.
I know what.
Wow,
the next Grand Theft Auto better be a 1-to-1 scale of the United States of America. Don't tell me they don't have the resources to do it. You just made $6 billion.
Yeah, I better come with new technology.
Right. It might not come out for another 5 years, whatever. I expect a 1-to-1 scale of the entirety of North America. No, not North America. Just the United States. Yeah, that might be a little too much.
Planning those Yukon excursions, are you? Up like, I want to see the Aurora Borealis in GTA, guys. It's gonna be great.
So can you imagine a 1-to-1 scale of the country?
That
shit would be asinine.
Didn't the world famous MMO CarPG The Crew do that?
No. You could get through California in 5 minutes. Like, no, that's not true. Nah. No, they made the entirety of the United States. They made all of the states.
I just wanted to say MMO CarPG. That's still the dumbest marketing term I've ever heard in my entire life, and I will always use it. I can't wait till The Crew 2 comes out, just so I can keep saying it. So before we move on to all the wrestling talk, make sure you go to densepixels.com/Amazon. Whenever you purchase anything from Amazon.com, use our Amazon link. You will pay the same low price, but you help support your favorite video game /wrestling podcast. So again, densepixels.com/Amazon for all your Amazon needs, big or small. All right. So it was WrestleMania weekend. We are going to review the big show, not the big show, the wrestler, the big show, WrestleMania. A quick word on NXT. A solid as usual performance from those guys. The bookends, the first and last match, fantastic. The middle matches were okay. But I'm a full-blown Adam Cole mark now, guys, and I don't apologize for any of it.
Baby.
Yeah. So, Mike, you'll enjoy that show when you get around to watching it. So
excellent.
It'll be a good time. The pre-show, 3 matches. First, the Andre the Giant men's Battle Royale. There were no surprise entrants this year. Dolph Ziggler set an unofficial new record for skin the cat near eliminations in a single Battle Royale. Because I swear to God, he was dangling off the ropes at least 6 times during.
I mean, part of me thinks that Dolph Ziggler was just trolling people, right?
Probably.
It's just like, come on, bro.
So your final 3 are Baron Corbin and Mojo Rawley, the last 2 Andre Battle winners, and woken Matt Hardy. Until all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt shows up in the ring after the final deletion. Bray Wyatt is back. He helps Matt Hardy eliminate his competitors. They embrace after the match, and Matt Hardy wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Congratulations on winning a meaningless Battle Royale.
I mean, in fairness, he will probably do more with that trophy than any other previous winner did, considering he was talking to it after the match was over.
By the way, those trophies look like they were rendered in fucking 1998.
They really do. They look like 3D printed versions of actual trophies, basically.
Yeah, they look terrible. Like you could see the plastic seam line going. Ugh, gross.
So we're getting a Matt
like
Hardy
you
Bray
should be able
Wyatt
to open Andre up and he'll be like chocolate inside. Like, that's how tacky it is.
Jesus.
So next up was the Cruiserweight Championship match for the vacant Cruiserweight title. Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander. Mustafa Ali rocking his Sub-Zero ring attire on his way out to the ring.
Yeah, man, that was kind of like a weird, like he had like the Iron Man repulsor ray and the Sub-Zero like ninja mask, but it was like
an
LED.
Yeah. And Cedric rocking some Black Panther inspired trunks.
Yeah, man.
Good.
I
didn't see any of this.
It was a fine match. A lot of people were hemming and hawing because it wasn't on the main card. Whatever. No one's fucking checking out WrestleMania.
Because Malcolm hemming and hawing.
Yeah.
Was he happy because
both
won?
Both. But
you're a racist, Malcolm. like I thought I was.
So Mustafa Ali, he would hit his 054. That's 450 reverse, guys, because he does it backwards. Finish, but Cedric would get the second rope. A second attempt would miss. Cedric Alexander would hit his lumbar check, one of a very cool finishing move. Actually, I like that finisher quite a bit.
It looks like it hurts, man.
It does. It really does. So he is your new Cruiserweight champion. And then finally...
Happy for that guy.
Huh?
I'm happy for that guy.
I am too. I like Cedric Alexander. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the main roster. He just needs an actual, character.
Yeah.
Not a gimmick, just a character.
Yeah, just like personality.
Yeah. The ladies battle royale was before the show. You had a bit of spot here where they had a bunch of NXT call-ups to help fill out the roster.
Yeah, I was like, who the hell? Like, I know I haven't watched. No, I haven't been paying attention that hard, but Jesus Christ, like they got a couple Indian women in here and like 4 new white girls. I'm like, what is this?
They teamed up to eliminate several of the WWE wrestlers.
Yeah, I kind of like that, man.
Eventually, because of course they've been feuding, they're on the outs now. But Bayley and Sasha were forced to team up to eliminate the Riot Squad. They were the last 5 people in the match. So they did so, and then Banks extends her hand to Bayley, which is bad news considering recent weeks. Bayley took it and then immediately flung Sasha over the top rope. She's learned her lesson, Bayley has at this point, but she's not the winner because unbeknownst to everybody, Bayomi for Terrence was chilling on the outside for the good portion of that match. She was never eliminated. She ended up tossing Bayley over the top rope, and Naomi is your women's battle royale winner.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So they letting niggas win last night.
She hit only on the pre-show.
Oh,
she hid in the shadows like a spook. Just bam! Scared Bayley right out of that ring.
Who sat by the ring? That's fun.
It was hilarious because they it was so funny because in the first battle royale, like all that was left was Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, and it took them forever to ring the bell because they weren't sure if Bray Wyatt was a legal competitor in the match or not. Because he just showed up at the end. Finally, like, oh no, Matt Hardy wins. Ding ding. With this one, Bayley was just chilling in the ring for like 30 seconds, and everyone was waiting for the bell. Because I guess the timekeeper was in on it for the second match. He knew what was up. So good for him. that's your pre-show.
I'm like Issa Rae at this point. I'm rooting for everybody black. I'm rooting for the minorities now. I don't even know who's wrestling what, who's wrestling who. If they're not white, I'm rooting for them. Sorry, Brad.
Well, you're gonna have to figure out who you were pulling for in this first match. We open up the main show. Oh, by the way, those not following along, John Cena is in the crowd during WrestleMania because he said since he could not successfully draw the Undertaker out to wrestle him at WrestleMania, he was going to participate as a fan. So he was literally sitting in the seats with the WWE Universe taking the show.
Just a random pregnant woman.
I know it was kind of weird how that worked out. Yeah, so John Cena is chilling as a fan. He's watching these matches. We start off with the high energy curtain jerker, as they do nowadays. The Miz defending his Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins and Finn Balor in a triple threat match. We had 3 good entrances, guys. Seth Rollins is cosplaying as a White Walker from Game of Thrones for this match.
Yeah.
Miz decided to rep Cobra Kai for some reason, as he had like a Naruto style headband on with his normal ring attire. He got rid of the Miztourage for this match. He wanted to do it by himself. We will see.
So he didn't win.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Finn Balor with some LGBTQ representation on his ring gear. And he was cheered out by the New Orleans LGBTQ community.
That's interesting.
So we have this was a solidly wrestled match. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it kept moving. There was no slow spots because basically you always had 2 guys squaring off at one time, and then one of them would get like tossed out of the ring or something, and then the other one would hop in and they'd go round and round. It was a good match. Once we got down to it, Rollins using a frog splash to break up a figure 4 that the Miz had on Finn Balor. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We saw a top rope skull crushing finale on Seth Rollins. But that was broken up by a coup de grace from Finn Balor right on Miz's back.
Yo, that move should be banned. Like, that shit is ridiculous.
I mean, I'd rather take it on my back than my stomach.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, like stop just jumping on people. That just seems like it hurts so bad.
Yeah, yo. Like that's what M. Bison does. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's a dictator. Evil.
Well, Balor would eventually hit the coup de grace on Miz, but Rollins would curb stomp both of them.
Yeah, I don't like that move.
Or sorry, they call it the blackout now. Or the fuck.
Yeah.
I thought he couldn't do that move anymore. That's why he took the pedigree.
Because I guess ripping off Kenny Omega's knee was not okay for WWE. But Rollins hits the curb stomp on both competitors, pins the Miz. He wins the match. He is in the Intercontinental Champion and the last member of the Shield to become a Grand Slam champion in WWE.
Oh, he won all
that's right.
3 belts.
He has.
Huh.
And he's the last of the 3. Like you'd think he would have been like,
yeah, like what the fuck? Like how the hell did the other? What the fuck is his name? I don't even remember his goddamn name.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose when to do that shit before him.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose was the first.
First one.
Yeah. What the fuck? He would mimic WrestleMania 31 celebration by spinning the belt around in the middle of the ring to the crowd's delight. I like Seth Rollins. I'm fine with cementing his young legacy with this win.
Like he's the best of the 3, wrestling wise.
Now
I wouldn't know. I think he's the best of the 3, like in all 3 aspects, like wrestling, mic skills. I don't know. Maybe Dean Ambrose, maybe a little better.
Oh, you're talking about the 3? I thought you meant.
Oh, I thought something about the 3 in this match.
No. I'm talking about out of the
he's definitely the best wrestler of the Shield.
Yeah.
I would probably give mic skills to Dean Ambrose.
But did Ember Moon just get called up?
I don't want to shut up. I'm watching this shit after the
fact. Ember Moon is okay.
What the fuck are you doing? Anyway.
Yeah, this match, I really enjoyed it. I like all 3 of those guys. The Miz is probably the worst wrestler of the 3, and he's not bad. You know what I mean? Like this was like
you said, this was Finn Balor and fucking
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
but he
crazy.
held his own, man, and this was a solid ass match. And every time I see the Miz, I swell with a little bit of pride, like he's my son. Like, but I remember him as Mike from the
As
real
Mike.
world. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the guy that got screamed on by Coral because Mike had never seen black people before. You know what I'm saying? And
Coral doing?
I see what I see what he has become. Like I always love it when somebody says that they want to do something and then they actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody likes Cardi B. She was like, I want to be at the I want to be a rapper. And she fucking did it. You know what I mean?
I'm calling it now. Miz is winning Money in the Bank, and Miz is going to be a world title holder by the end of this year.
I would love that. I would absolutely love it. Be on a real title run lane, you know, not and headline a real WrestleMania, not the third wheel of a Rock Cena feud. You know what I mean?
Imagine that you successfully defended a world title in the main event of a WrestleMania, and you weren't even the two most important people involved in that match.
Right?
How awful!
I would be a little pissed. Like, yeah, I got that chip on my shoulder, man.
So solid opener. Honestly, this was probably the best match on the card. This or the next one we're going to talk.
The next one, yeah.
Second match we get Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against the undefeated streak of Asuka. This was the match we all wanted to see. And it lived up, I think, to the expectation.
It absolutely did. And it ended the way it should have ended.
I will agree with you. We will talk about that once we discuss the match. Charlotte gets the gender-swapped version of Triple H's entrance from WrestleMania 30 as she comes out to the Ric Flair music, like the actual Ric Flair music. I got to tell you, I kind of wish she had gone the whole way down to the ring with that.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about it, man. Like it's WrestleMania, you know? Like this is something special. Like go ahead and come on down to the but then again, you know, you don't she is her own person and you kind of want her to have her own theme, even though her theme is a remix of her dad's theme, which is just stolen from 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Which is also, I mean, it's an actual song. Like it's not like it was written for 2000.
Yeah. I like to think that it was written for Ric Flair. And then Stanley Kubrick had a time machine. And was like,
you know what?
This music.
I've seen no evidence to refute that. Actually, we'll assume that's correct. We pick it up in the middle of the match. Asuka with a unique counter to Charlotte's moonsault. She basically counters it, catches her on the way down in a triangle hold. But Charlotte was actually countered into a Boston Crab. Look, in this match, both these ladies were jamming the R2 button because there was reversals in this contest. Crazy counters left and right. The worst bump of the night probably belonged to Charlotte as she took a vertical suplex from the ring apron down to the floor.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the bump that Tommaso Ciampa took on Saturday, Micah, but you'll see that.
Excellent.
Charlotte hit a top rope Spanish fly on Asuka, which almost got botched, actually. But
the second one of the night.
Yeah, that's true, because that also happened in the Cruiserweight match as well. So Charlotte hits a spear. She locks on the figure 8 leg lock, and Asuka kind of quickly taps out. Streak over.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair cemented, I think, as the greatest women's wrestler of all time with this victory.
Yeah, I see that. You know, look, I understand being bummed if you wanted Asuka to win, but now that the pressure is off of the undefeated streak, like she can just be Asuka. Like she can be known for something other than, you know, because it's got to happen eventually. And they put on a great match. I wish Asuka, you know, like you said, she tapped really fast. Like I wish she kind of held on for a little longer to you know play it up. But
I I think, and judging by previous matches with Charlotte, I think they're going out of their way to establish that hold as a dominant hold,
which is something that is a good thing, you know. Like you should want your finishers to actually finish people.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I don't know
later in the show.
I did see that. I missed all of this. I missed all the good stuff.
I know you did.
Helping my brother move.
But yeah, and so Terrence, what do you think about ending Asuka's streak here and now?
Look, I am a fan of Asuka, and Charlotte has come a very, 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 very long way in an incredibly short amount of time. Like she's only been wrestling for like what, 4 years, if that.
Like that, yeah.
Like in total, like not. She wasn't like I want to be a wrestler. Like nah, she's just been doing this. She's a fucking natural, which is wild. She's really good in the ring.
She's
like
really good in the ring. She's like the total package, man. Like she's really good in the ring. She's good on the mic. She's built like a fucking Amazon. Like
right. Compared to the other women.
Yeah, I mean, but she towers over people.
What is she like 6 foot, if that?
Yeah,
she may not be 6 feet tall. Yeah, all those other women are just really short. Like what's the name? Alexa Bliss is like 5'1".
5 feet of fap, as Johnny called it.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, she's got the look. She's good on the mic, and she's really good in the ring. Asuka,
yo, she's only 5'10", yo. How short are those other women?
I'm saying, like, what the fuck, no? Their average height.
I mean, 5'10" is tall for
for a woman,
stereotypically for a woman, but goddamn, yo, like she is towering over those people.
She's Jay's height.
She's taller than Jay.
No, she's taller than Jay. Jay is 5'9". Jay has to look up to Charlotte Flair.
But she looks so tall on TV.
Well, he said compared to the other women.
Yeah,
that's how that goes.
And it's just the way it's just the way she's built. She just looks like she's just a tall person.
Yeah,
even when she's not standing next to her, like yeah. I mean, I don't really I'm surprised they gave her that long of an undefeated streak.
It's true. It's hard to believe she's been around for 3 years almost already. Yeah, I was fine with this. I think if she had beaten Charlotte, it would have taken the streak to a difficult level to book properly. Because we go back and think of the most notable like streaks of all time. Goldberg's streak ended by getting tasered by Scott Hall, Starcade, and then getting pinned by Kevin Nash.
Yo, the WCW.
Undertaker
fucking stupid.
Ended in a concussion-filled mess with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So look, like if you have her beat the top woman in professional wrestling, I guess you build up for a year to that Ronda Rousey match, but who's gonna beat Asuka at that point? Or you could do what I said should have, if you're gonna have Asuka win, what I would have then done is immediately have Carmella come out, cash in the briefcase, and end the streak that way. Because that would have been fucking hilarious. But yeah, Asuka's streak is over. But it was like I said, a great match. Again, either this or the IC title match was probably the best match on the card. But during the end of this match, as Charlotte was walking to the back, a referee sprints down to the ring and hops the barricade to go tell something to John Cena. He whispers something in his ear. John Cena's like, "Really? No, you can't." He's really, and he's like, "Yeah." So John Cena gets up and does a dead sprint to the backstage area. What has he been told? We'll find out later in the night. So we must get to the United States Championship match. Randy Orton defends his title against Bobby Roode, Rusev, and Jinder Mahal in a fatal four-way match. This also happened to fall on Rusev Day, so coincidences abound.
What the fuck is Rusev Day?
It's just a running joke.
So there was it started with like basically Rusev proclaimed that it was Rusev Day one day, and then he did it again. So like every day, the joke is that every day is Rusev Day, and the crowd just kind of picked it up and ran with it. So
I heard Rusev asked for his has asked for his release. I read it on the internet. So I
heard that too. He joked about it earlier this month. After that story came out, I don't see how he would be serious about that. He'd have to be really stupid to want to do that if that's true. Because I'd have to imagine his merch checks right now are pretty good.
Yeah.
With this whole Rusev Day gimmick.
Yeah. And I know Aiden English is probably like, if you fucking leave,
right,
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Johnny and I were discussing which wrestlers are going to get cut in the annual spring purge later this year, and I was like, I don't know who is, but I know Aiden English is probably thanking his lucky stars that this Rusev Day has been caught on.
Yeah, he was. And look, he. I saw a meme of the Bar and Aiden English, and you know how the Bar do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is a popular Dragon Ball Z thing. Terrence, I don't know if you've ever picked the kid with the volleyball in
Go Tanks.
Yeah, but when you pick him, you see two characters who do like this shit, and then they turn into Go Tanks. Apparently, that is called. Apparently, that is called a fusion. And when the meme was the Bar doing this, right? And then all of a sudden, bam, there's Aiden English as the fused version of those two guys. Just bald head, big ass beard. Bald head, he cut his hair after the fucking
hair during the Battle Royale. And then when he comes out to sing Rusev in, he is clean shaven on his dome.
It's like he came out earlier and he had that fucking terrible thinning hairline, and then he came out as like a white Lin-Manuel Miranda and started rapping Rusev's intro.
Okay, I don't know what any of that means. Like I know what Lin-Manuel like. I haven't.
That's his thing now. When he comes out, instead of just singing, he does like a Hamilton-esque rap about how awesome Rusev is and how his opponents are terrible. He's very talented. I like Aiden English a lot.
I like Aiden English. I think the guy is good, and I want those two to do well, man. I like those two guys.
This match was obviously rushed for time's sake. This was one of the cut victims during the night. Orton, as one would expect, arcade everybody in sight, including Aiden English, but Bobby Roode would break up the pin attempt. Roode would hit a glorious DDT on Orton. Jinder Mahal would break that up. Rusev had the upper hand. He hits a Machka kick on Jinder Mahal. He calls for the accolade. The crowd, of course, very excited about this. But Sunil Singh distracts Rusev. He gets a Machka kick for his troubles. But then Jinder Mahal sneaks up behind Rusev, hits him with the Kalash. And Jinder Mahal completes the best year of his or most people's life by winning the United States Championship at WrestleMania.
Jinder Mahal?
Jinder Mahal. If you recall, it was just a year ago that we said, man, I can't believe that Jinder Mahal finishes the runner-up in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Little did we know the year that Jinder Mahal would have ahead of him.
Jinder Mahal?
Yeah.
I guess he... I mean, okay.
Well, they are getting ready to go to Saudi Arabia at the end of the month. I guess it helps to have a belt on Jinder Mahal. So
known Canadian.
That's a true story. Absolutely true story.
I was really pulling for Rusev, man.
Yeah, pretty ballsy them to let him take the pin in front of this crowd.
Yeah, man.
But Rusev, I'm sure. I feel like his day has got to come right soon.
Yeah.
So we get to the match that everyone was kind of dreading on the card. This was a stacked card, a stacked WrestleMania card. But there was one match that people were like, I'm not so sure what's going to happen here. And this is, of course, Ronda Rousey making her WWE debut, teaming with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I got to talk about the entrances first. So this year, pretty much the same Triple H entrance as last year, but this time him and Stephanie got matching his and hers tricycles to ride down to the ring. But I'm sorry. Stephanie did the water spit, y'all.
Stephanie did that?
Stephanie did the water spit alongside Triple H on the ring apron.
Huh.
It was fantastic. I don't know what to tell you.
It was, man. It was. Shout out to whoever said this on the Monday Night Flaw thread that I lurk around but don't comment on.
You creep.
Yeah. Well, that's what I am.
A lot of lurking.
If all those motherfuckers were standing on subways, I'd be doing the same thing. So someone, I can't remember who said it, but someone said, and now here is Stephanie McMahon and her husband Kratos. I just said, well, that's it. That's all I see now.
True.
So Kratos.
Yeah, she basically did all the Triple H stuff. Like she even stood on the corner and did like the, like I'm the man, like that kind of thing. So flexing. It was fucking hilarious. I loved it. I gotta tell you guys too, when they played that metal theme, Kurt Angle came out, the red, white, and blue, the fireworks. Got a little goosebumps.
Let me ask you something, and maybe I'm overreacting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really tired of the "you suck" chant.
No, it's endearing. I love it actually.
I can't stand it.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. It's like I just love that they do it whether he is cheered or booed.
Right. But it doesn't like I get it. I get it. I really do. I just don't like it anymore. I don't like it when babyface Kurt Angle is because that name that "you suck" chant came out of like a real like vitriol, like when people really hated Kurt Angle, man. And I don't know, like you still get the Cena sucks chants, but like nobody really hates John Cena.
Right, they're doing it ironically at this point.
Right. But I don't know. There's something about Kurt Angle. There's my jingoistic side gets in and is ignited. And when I see the red, white, and blue, and I hear the Kurt Angle like All-American theme music, right? Like, and then I just hear "you suck," and I'm just like, I want to go kill a mic on these motherfuckers and just get an NRA membership and just start shooting people, because that's what the NRA does. Once you get a member, in order to get a membership, you have to shoot somebody, because they're an evil organization.
Like a 00 license, basically.
Yes,
it takes
evil.
2 kills. Yeah, I got the goosebumps. So the story here is going to be how long would it take Ronda Rousey to get the match? And I have to tell you, sure, this side of the Revival, I don't think I've seen another tag team work as cohesively to keep someone out of the match as Triple H and Stephanie McMahon did. In this manner.
Stephanie, you're the real MVP. Like, she was amazing in this match.
Like they hit all of the greatest hits. Like I said, she's coming over, decking Rousey at every turn, knowing, and it was like, I always thought it was stupid in the lead up to this match. They were talking about, oh, she doesn't understand the rules. She doesn't understand how it is here. I'm like, fuck does that matter? This is why it matters, because Stephanie May was doing the shit where she was basically like drawing Rousey into the ring, and as soon as the referee, she'd come in to try and attack her, and the referee's like, no, you got to get in the corner. And of course, once the ref's back is turned, all of a sudden the heel tactics come out between Stephanie, like choking Kurt on the rope and doing all that stuff, and you get where Kurt Angle's going for the hot tag to get out, and Stephanie pulls Ronda off the apron like right before he's able to get there. It was very well booked.
This match was one of those like magical tag matches that you kind of the tag matches that you remember as a kid. You know what I mean?
And look, I don't know who the agent was for the match. Whenever I see a match turn out greater than it had any right to be, I always thank Arn Anderson. I just assume that Arn Anderson had and that he was responsible. So thank you, based Arn, for and giving us this fantastic match.
She's been around the business her entire life.
I don't care. It was very well put together.
It was. I mean, you could not script anything better, and they scripted it. Like, it was.
You even got a callback to last year where Stephanie was holding Kurt against the ropes, and Triple H went to deck him, and he ducks, and he pulled up right before he popped his wife in the face for the second year in a row at WrestleMania.
That had to be Triple H. He had correct.
Oh, I'm sure he had
Someone had
input
it,
in the proceedings, but I'm still giving Arn Anderson a lion's share.
It was such a well choreographed match, and we'll talk about an incredibly botched spot later. But it was such a well choreographed match, and by the time Ronda got in there, like I was actually like, "Yo, I'm rooting for Ronda," right? Like
the crowd was behind. It is an impressive job that they've done in the past 2 months to get the crowd from like, I don't know about this woman to full throated Ronda Rousey support from
yeah, man. And look, at first when this match happened, I'm like, all right, when this match was announced, I'm like, all right. I mean, I don't really know. Like, are they gonna like? I didn't know what to expect, and I don't know why I ever doubted Triple H. Triple H, I mean, the man's damn near 50 years old, right? He can make literally anybody look good while still looking good himself.
Oh yes.
When Ronda came in and wanted to fight and wanted to wrestle Triple H, and Triple H, come on. Oh, yo.
And the best part is like the referee's like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. Like, that's not the rules. And Triple H literally took the referee, put him in the corner, is like, shut up. Like, this is and then he got fucking he got hands from Ronda Rousey, basically.
Yo, and I don't know if you saw his turns.
I didn't see the match.
Yo, Triple H's expression when he's getting those flurries from Ronda Rousey, yo, he was literally like, oh. Yo, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen, man. Like somebody needs to make a gif of that shit.
No, and she actually picked him up. And this is the botch spot that I think you were talking about, Micah. She picked him up for that like Samoan drop that I guess is her finisher for whatever reason.
Yeah,
couldn't quite get him at first. She eventually got him picked up, but it's Stephanie who was able to save him from that. And then she got Ronda to chase to the outside. She shoved her into the ring post and took her out of the equation. But Kurt Angle,
how was Kurt Angle in this match?
Well,
yeah, okay,
protected. He was protected basically.
Uh-huh.
But we did get to see the Angle greatest hits. He rolled the German suplexes. He hits the Angle slam, and then he pulls the straps down. I was like, I told my wife, like, here come the straps after he got the Angle slam. But it's not Triple H who was subject for the ankle lock. Stephanie McMahon came in, and she tried to kick Kurt Angle. He caught her foot, and he put her in the ankle lock. But only for a little bit because Triple H was able to break it up with a pedigree. But then Ronda Rousey dove in and made the save. But Triple H was not having that. So he was going to, he put Ronda Rousey in the pedigree position. Then he decided for some reason to go for a power bomb instead, which of course got countered into a Hurricane Rana and an armbar on Triple H. Yes, Ronda Rousey threw a Hurricane Rana on Triple H.
Yeah, looked pretty good.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
but then fantastically, Stephanie McMahon comes up from behind and puts Ronda Rousey in a rear naked chokehold to get her off of Triple H. But then that gets countered almost into an armbar. And then as Triple H goes to save his wife, Kurt Angle comes in and puts the ankle lock on Triple H. So they did the spot, which I don't know if you remember when Revival defended against DIY and they were locked in simultaneous submission holds, how Dawson and Wilder like grabbed each other's hands so neither of them could tap out. They're sitting there like trying to prevent the other one from tapping out. That's what they did with Triple H and Stephanie here. And then Triple H rolled Kurt forward. She collided into Rousey. So all four people are down in the ring now. So the holds are broken up. Both Triple H and Stephanie go to do a simultaneous pedigree on their corresponding opponents. But they both break it up. Triple H and Kurt Angle end up on the outside of the ring. Ronda locks in an armbar and Stephanie McMahon, who is screaming, no, like as she's trying to hold her hands together. And then Ronda Rousey finally puts it in. She taps immediately, of course. And Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle are your winners. This match was better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, it was, man. It really was. I got to tell you, Stephanie McMahon is her father's daughter, man. she is she gets it. Like you said, she's been around this business forever. She gets it, man. This was a highly entertaining match. Well, I was expecting this to be the worst thing on the card, and it was not. I really enjoyed it.
And contrast how they handled this versus how they handled the Triple H Sting match from a couple years ago, where that was overbooked to hell. With
that shit was terrible.
Very good. And again, like Micah said, all the credit in the world goes to Stephanie McMahon and also to Ronda Rousey, who was excellent and really she did a long way. She went a long way to establishing herself and giving herself like bona fides in WWE, because not only did she look good, but it's clear just from this one match that she understands how to work in WWE.
Yeah. I don't know if I need her talking though.
No, that's absolutely not.
I don't know if I need her talking. As a matter of fact, she could just come down with a paper bag over her head, because I'm tired of all that goddamn grinning too. Like, come act like you about to fight, yo. Come act like you about to fight.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, shit, Kurt Angle's a Hall of Famer, and he was just kind of there for this match. Honestly.
Yeah, you know what? I think you've met him, Brad, and I think you've met him, Terrence. And I say this with all the love and respect that I can possibly muster.
You're about to say some fucked up shit.
Kurt Angle really reminds me of Jay's stepdad. Like, there's just something about him. There's something about the way that Kurt Angle, and then just I don't know. There's something about the way those two, like, their mannerisms. I'm trying to think of
I'm trying. Like, it's kind of like the at this point, yeah, he's just kind of like not necessarily like happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, but you know,
there's like a certain air about
I will tell you too, and Terrence, like you know how like you're generally concerned about Kurt Angle because of like how he moves around, basically.
Yeah, he can't move his neck. He's got Batman syndrome going on.
I will say that he does at least appear to move better in ring gear than he does in a suit. So maybe he just shouldn't wear a suit. He just wears singlet around as the general manager of Raw.
Yeah, because he looks like he's got like a weird thing going on where he doesn't really move his body around a lot. Like his neck doesn't like
a million necks are like having spine fused together will do that to you. Things so that you can't really turn your neck. You just have to turn your entire body.
When you got like a whole John McCain thing going on. It's a little weird.
So
I guess when he's wearing just a suit.
We move on to easily the most disappointing match of the night. Wasn't a bad match, but just it was rushed. They added the Bludgeon Brothers into the mix, which seemed erroneous. This could have just been Usos versus New Day, and it probably would have been fantastic. But it's the Usos defending the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships against the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers in a triple threat tag team match. We found out before the match, Terrence, that Xavier Woods has the power by playing the Dragon Zord ditty on his trombone to summon pancake midgets at his beck and call. And I know what you're thinking, how can those words put together in that sentence together make any sense? Watch WrestleMania.
You know what we haven't had in a while is midgets.
I think it's funny that you think Vince McMahon has anything to do with the New Day shenanigans, because he probably does not understand anything that's going on with that.
I think Vince McMahon says, I don't care what these niggers do. They better involve midgets. I want to see some midgets, goddammit.
Well, I got really,
yeah.
I was very jealous of Xavier Woods' afro.
Oh yeah, he didn't have anything.
It wasn't pulled back into a man bun. Like he just straight let it just bam. I was like, oh, all right. You need to rock that more often.
And it's a shame the crowd were a little bit dead for this. Who can blame them after the last match, which was insane. And this was just basically like the Bludgeon Brothers taking the upper hand And then like the New Day would team up on them and they'd get the upper hand, but then the Bludgeon Brothers wouldn't go down. And then the Usos would team up together to get the upper hand, but they wouldn't go down. And then eventually the Bludgeon Brothers hit a avalanche powerbomb from the second rope on Kofi Kingston to pin him, and they win the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships.
I felt like I have to imagine that this is what a woman feels like when a man comes too fast. Like, oh, we're done? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you didn't get anything that you'd expect from the Usos in the New Day. I felt kind of bad. I'm like, man, the Usos waited 9 years for this match. Like, that's a shame. I don't know which brand I want AOP to be on, guys. I think it would be fun to see them take down the Bludgeon Brothers, and I think it would be fun to see them take down Braun Strowman and his tag team partner for the Raw Tag Team Championship.
I did see that.
Oh, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Those are my thoughts on this match. I really didn't have much to say because, like I said, this was the most disappointing match on the card.
Yeah, but
not a stinker, which is important to note about this WrestleMania, which we will get when we get into our final thoughts. So here's what happened. So John Cena comes out to the ring. Crowd's amped up. They're like, oh, what's about to happen? We're going to see it. And the lights go out. The building pops like crazy. It's finally happening. And then after a few seconds, you hear on stage, hello, my name is Elias.
Yo, I died laughing. My wife was like, what is your problem? I just burst out into laughing.
Cena was pissed. He was visibly pissed off. He got so like just over it that he just walked back to his seat. Like that's what he did. Like he just hopped the guardrail while Elias was in the ring and just walked back to his seat. He was pissed. And so Elias was giving his concert and he was running down both the city of New Orleans and John Cena, as one would expect. And then Cena got pissed off. So he comes back to the ring. He literally delivers the 5 moves of doom to Elias and takes it out on him. He's mad. And then his music plays and he's like, well, I guess that's all of that. So he, starts up towards the ramp. And then all of a sudden the lights go out again. And you get a spotlight in the center of the ring, and the Undertaker's folded up ring, his hat and coat from last year appear in the middle of the ring. And then that is struck with a bolt of lightning and disappears. And then you get the gong and the crowd loses their mind.
I did see this.
Yes.
I think this is where I came in.
So the Undertaker is back. He was in dead man garb, not the rumored biker taker garb. It took him 15 minutes to shuffle down to the ring, as is expected. Look, I know we give shit about that, but I've seen that entrance in person, and it is for the live fans. Like, it's cool as shit when you're there. So I get it. It is. It is. The first time you experience it, it is really fucking cool.
Okay.
But so they're having this match. This match is happening. Undertaker is wrestling John Cena, and he squashes John Cena.
Yeah.
A literal squash match. So basically, Taker is lighting him up with strikes. He does old school. He does snake eyes. But then John Cena like suplexes him with a back suplex, goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle. Predictably, Undertaker sits up as Cena is coming back off the ropes, and Cena like falls down and loses his mind. And then he gets choked.
I was like, really, nigga? Like you've been watching this dude for the last 15 years. I get it, but it was so stupid.
Right. What John Cena did really well is he acted like, I know I've been asking for this for like the past month, but I don't know what to do now that I have it in front of me.
Yeah. Like
that was his reaction. Choke slam, tombstone, John Cena gets pinned 1, 2, 3 in a 2-minute match. This could be interesting because you could do two things with this, and you could do them both. Like, you could actually build up the Undertaker as a result of this match if you want to. And you also can create a compelling story for John Cena, who by his own admission requested this match because he hasn't been able to get the job done for the past 6 months, basically.
I think that the latter is what's going to happen. I think this is a story for John Cena to kind of ride off into the sunset. You know, he's on a downward slope, right? But he'll do like maybe a couple more matches and then he'll pick a random pay-per-view to just kind of retire on. You think he'll retire anytime soon?
As a full, well, that's hard to. I don't. Nah. Does he need to?
I mean, I don't think he needs to.
I don't think he does either.
But
I think it's a lock that he's gonna break Flair's record at some point, right?
I mean, he has to. He deserves it.
And I think when he goes out from that, I think when he drops the belt, which will probably be at like a WrestleMania, honestly, it'll probably be next WrestleMania, honestly.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. That'll probably be like the official John Cena like farewell moment, and then like he'll just show up when he wants to and wrestle.
Yeah.
A la The Rock, basically.
Yeah.
But still, man, 2-minute squash match, not expecting that. So, but I was cool with that. I mean, if you're gonna book this match, it's probably the best way to do it, honestly.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was happy with it.
And a note for my mortal enemy, the WWE crowd. We're really gonna chant "You still got it" at the fucking Undertaker? Don't you think he's a little above that? For Christ's sake.
Well, this crowd was getting ornery.
Yeah, they had only been there for 24 hours though.
That shit's disrespectful to me, man.
What, to say you still got it to the Undertaker?
Yeah,
he doesn't.
That's besides the point. Like, he's the Undertaker. Like, come on, dude. Like it seems patronizing to me.
Like,
the fucking
they had to end that match in 2 minutes because he was probably out of breath by the time that shit was.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to. Like, it's not like he's been gone for 5 years. His annual pilgrimage, you know.
Like, I'm a little tired of the Undertaker.
I am too, but fucking don't chant "You still got it." The fucking Undertaker. Shut up, crowd. Fucking NXT, they're chanting "This is awesome" before the bell rang for the first match.
Wow.
Fuck out of my face. Idiots. So next up, me and Cam fight for our jobs as we try to regain employment on SmackDown Live by fighting Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Daniel Bryan got the Hollywood Rock intro for some reason.
Yeah, that was really fucking weird. I was like, what?
Very strange.
Like, who the hell turned on this 1996 version of Rainbow Six? What the fuck is this?
So Owens and Zayn do the smart thing and jump McMahon and Bryan before the match starts. They come in through the crowd while their music plays and jump them from behind. And then we get an apron power bomb on Daniel Bryan right away before the match even begins. So Daniel Bryan getting worked on at ringside by EMTs. Shane McMahon, because he's an idiot, calls for the bell to ring, even though he has no partner. So he's going it along. I have got to tell you that Kevin Owens is the all-time MVP forever of trash talk during a match. He even took time out of beating Shane McMahon's ass. So first he takes time out to turn around to Daniel Bryan, who's still getting worked on by EMT. He's like, "Great comeback, Daniel! Great job, fantastic!" And then as he's beating the shit out of Shane McMahon, he just sitting there like, "Money, money, 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 money." Oh my God, he's the greatest of all time.
Man.
Also, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because they watched WrestleMania 29 when Triple H faced Brock Lesnar, knew to target Shane's stomach as he had diverticulitis just 2 weeks ago.
Here's the thing about diverticulitis.
Huh?
It doesn't get healed in 2 weeks.
Well, it was hard to tell what was storyline and what wasn't, because Shane McMahon did come down with a legitimate ailment.
But shit wasn't diverticulitis.
Well,
it wasn't. Trust me. They thought I had that shit, and nah. That's what fucking Brock Lesnar
had. When he fucking
yeah. That shit is serious. You don't get over that shit in 2 fucking weeks. He didn't have diverticulitis. He had the stomach flu.
Well, he got the upper hand. Shane did eventually. He hung Sammy in the Tree of Woe in one corner, and of course, because of Shane McMahon as WrestleMania, goes coast to coast. Now he need a little bit of help for this one. Same main.
Yeah, he had to hold himself up. But regardless,
sure.
No, he's like 50, man. he's in his mid 40s, and he can still do that. That's and he's fucking big.
Yeah, he is now, especially.
That's impressive, man.
He's got that dad bod going on. So
no, that's like really impressive because that might look. He's an athletic dude, you know?
But Owens broke up the pin, and then he looked to have the match sewn up after a frog splash on Shane McMahon. But then Daniel Bryan out of nowhere comes flying into the ring and makes the save. So everyone was looking for the hot tag, right? The Shane McMahon hot tag, Daniel Bryan. I was excited to see Daniel Bryan in the ring. That hot tag was weak sauce. Like Shane McMahon, literally crawled along the second rope and then just did a regular tag to Daniel Bryan. Like you gotta dive to make that hot tag.
Yeah, man.
No, you just got your ass kicked for fucking 5 minutes.
Right. You gotta dive.
Like nigga, I'm 50. You can get
I mean, he literally cliffhangered the.
He did. So Daniel Bryan is in, and he does the greatest hits. You get the corner drop kicks. You get the backflip. He's flying around. He's doing his thing. It's Daniel Bryan's back. He's back for real. But he gets ready to do the kicks. And Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere, and Haluva kicks him, but he's able to kick out it too. And then Kevin Owens is able to hit a pop-up powerbomb, but Daniel Bryan kicks out it too. He's not going to let his return match be spoiled with logical booking. Apparently, retirement turned Daniel Bryan into Hulk Hogan because then Sami Zayn
I was like, wait, what?
the face 4 times, and Daniel Bryan literally hulks up, essentially. All he needed was the finger, but to do it.
Yeah, I thought that was a little strange. I'm like,
it was a little strange.
So he just became the Terminator all of a sudden? Like, what's going on?
So
but it was cool to see him back. Like he didn't lose a fucking step. I'm like, this nigga ain't wrestled in 3 years, but it looks like he hasn't wrestled in like a week.
Yeah,
so
he was really fucking good.
You get the running knee on Sami Zayn, and then he transitions that right into the yes lock. Sami Zayn, aka my best friend Cam, taps out rather quickly to ensure that we remain unemployed. How could you, Cam? I could have gotten back in the ring and saved the match. Shane McMahon was nowhere to be found. Maybe we'll end up on Raw this week. Who knows? We'll have to see. So, but I feel good story. You know, Daniel Bryan, he got to actually kiss Brie after this match, something he did not get to do at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
But yeah, and look, he's back. Everyone's happy. He looks strong, and we'll see what happens from here. What do you do with Daniel Bryan now that you can't book him as like the underdog basically anymore?
Yeah, now he's the Terminator. he basically solidified himself as like you like the Hulk Hogan. That shit was really fucking weird, man.
Is he still going to be the general manager?
I
or
can't
is he
imagine that he's going to
active superstar?
I can't imagine he's going to remain the general manager.
Like he probably doesn't want to be the general manager.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I think he's going to be an active wrestler. Like he seems fine.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd let him wrestle if he wasn't fine. So
no, they certainly wouldn't. Like they don't need that.
Absolutely not. So he is back, and we'll see if they let him pick up right where they left off. Because I got to tell you, the prospect of Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles is mighty, mighty tempting.
Yeah.
So SummerSlam, maybe. We'll see. Alexa Bliss, the bully that she is, defending her Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax. I thought they handled this whole storyline very well and were able to tell a very positive message story.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they don't still do the "don't be a bully, be a star" thing, because that's what this match is.
Yeah,
especially since one of them is like 6 feet tall, maybe 220, and the other one is 5 feet, 97 pounds. And who's the bully?
And she's the bully. Yeah,
pretty funny.
That's how it is in a lot of with a lot of young girls
in high school.
Yeah.
So, Now Nia Jax, not enough wrestlers do the smart thing. You know what I mean? So Mickey James accompanies Alexa Bliss to the ring. And before the match,
yeah, this was great.
Before the match begins, Nia Jax flattens Mickey James, drags her to the outside, and beats the brakes off of her, including a Samoan drop on the floor, eliminating her from the equation.
Yeah, nah, fuck that. You have no say in this match. Get out.
That was pretty fun, and again, very, very intelligent. The benefits of being a babyface that doesn't have to play by babyface general rules, I guess.
You want to know what I found interesting about this match? When they announced the wrestlers, they never announced the women with their weight.
That's
like
true.
I think they added a couple pounds. I don't know how much she weighed. I have no clue. But they were like weighing in at like 270 something. But they didn't give what's her name's a weight.
That was probably very intentional.
They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose, and I thought I was like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed. So there's a great spot in this match where Alexa tried to do something to Nia, and Nia screamed at her, and Alexa Bliss like screamed in terror as she tried to run away because she's like, "Oh shit!" So Nia Jax was running the show early, but of course, as a good heel does, find a way to get the upper hand, and Alexa Bliss did that by raking some eyes in this match, and then she worked the body part. You worked a body part, working the legs as you do. Look, yeah. Bret Hart and his ilk would be proud of the body targeting that Alexa Bliss did. Yeah. She was in good shape in this match too until she decided to start talking smack for some reason, and that just fired up Nia Jax. Eventually, Nia was able to overcome the eye gouging. She had Alexa Bliss like set. Like she gorilla press slammed her. She was done, and she had her for the Samoan drop. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna put a little extra stank on this Samoan drop. She went up to the second rope and dropped her from there. And 1, 2, 3, Nia Jax gets her WrestleMania moment as the Raw Women's Champion in a very feel good story. The crowd popped real large for it too.
Yeah,
which is very cool.
Nia was looking fly in her like Michael Jackson inspired outfit.
What video is that?
This was like early, like dark skinned Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like when he
was like gold and black.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like his was it the History Tour? It wasn't the early Jackson.
It wasn't.
I just think the late '80s.
I distinctly remember. Well, yeah, that's what I mean by early Michael Jackson. I don't really count his boy band days as early Michael Jackson. I count the 80s as early Michael Jackson. And yeah, man, this was good. It was a good story. It ended the way it needed to end. I was like, for the life of me, yo, if they don't end this the way that they did end it, like, fuck you, yo. I mean, come on, man.
So we move on to AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. The dream match, as it was billed, had a big fight feel. Shinsuke Nakamura had a full band to play his entrance out to the ring.
I mean, that was cool, man.
It was pretty cool. Now here's the thing. I was not a big Shinsuke Nakamura fan when he first came into WWE, as I mentioned. I've grown to appreciate him over these past 6 or 8 months, give or take. However, I've learned that he is at his best when the match is quickly paced because it suits his striking style that he has. This match was not very fast paced. And I thought that he suffered as a result in this one.
Yeah, the match I think was fine. But you know, the way everything leading up to it was just weird, right? Like, it's the dream match. Well, why is it a dream match? You only know it's a dream match if you watch New Japan, right? And you've seen what these guys can do in their prime, but their prime was 10, 15 years ago. And
I think that's
So,
harsh.
well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, not that,
I'm pretty sure AJ Styles still,
but you know what I'm trying to say. I just, words. But when these two wrestled before, I assume I haven't gone back to watch the match, but it was years
like
ago.
a year and a half ago, right?
Was it?
it was like
It wasn't that long ago.
3 years.
Oh, well, I have no concept of time. Either way, they didn't really could they not use the New Japan footage or to show why this is like a big deal?
I don't think they wanted to. I think they wanted to present it to WWE fans as if this was like the first time these guys had wrestled.
Huh.
So,
well,
now pulled out the big league move of releasing the match on YouTube like a week ago.
Yeah.
Because good on them, I guess.
I like watching New Japan.
But it was just okay. It was fine. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like an all-timer.
The way that was my point. The way that they were building this thing up, I was expecting something, pardon the pun, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wasn't. It was a solid ass match that I could have seen as the main event of any other pay-per-view.
Correct. So the story of this match was these guys know each other well. No one could quite get the upper hand. Nakamura had the upper hand for a while. And then AJ Styles turned it around. They were able to reverse submission, stuff like that. Phenomenal forearm happens. 2 count. Nakamura kicks out. Then Nakamura would eventually hit the reverse exploder suplex, which is the prelude to the Kinshasa knee strike. But in a very unique thing that I've not really seen before, Styles rolled backwards to avoid it and somehow was able to roll up Shinsuke and place him into position for a Styles clash, which was enough to earn the pinfall. And then the real story happened.
How a finisher should end. How a finisher should work.
Yeah. You know why that's a finisher? Because you don't see him finish people with it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's a move that doesn't get pulled out a lot.
When he first came in, he was using it all the time, and people were kicking out like crazy.
It was more of a setup move.
I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like, that's his finisher. Why the fuck are y'all playing it like it's just a regular move?
Yeah,
like he'd use a calf crusher to tap people out. All right.
So after the match, the 2 embrace. Nakamura takes the title and gets down on one knee and presents it to Styles as a show of respect. And then as soon as Styles raises his hands in victory, Nakamura low blows him.
Raised his hands in that ass.
and then proceeded to beat up Styles on the outside, finishing him off with the Kinshasa heel turn. Everybody swerve. We now have a heel Shinsuke Nakamura, which I applaud because now he might actually be interesting.
Oh, damn.
His character is not interesting to me. Heel Nakamura, I have to imagine, is cool, or at least cooler than,
I think for those who are where English is not their first language, being a heel, especially if you're Japanese, because everything you say sounds like you're fucking pissed, right? Like, I think I tend to agree with you, Brad. I think that I'm super interested now to see this because he doesn't really need to say much. He can just come out and be the angry Japanese guy, and take it back to the 40s, one of the even numbered decades where shit was just bad all the time.
All I know is, and of course this came from Johnny, we finally got to see a real legitimate Pearl Harbor.
Here's the thing about him, because I've heard him in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they play up the fact that he doesn't speak English. They play up the fact that he's not really good at speaking English because he's fine.
Maybe
like he's not. It's not that great, but like, no, he can speak.
He can speak English, but
like what's her name? Asuka.
No, I mean, there's a difference between speaking English and speaking English good enough to cut a promo.
Yeah. Like, I've heard Shinsuke Nakamura. I've heard Asuka speak. And she sounds like she sounds like she's playing it up, right? But she speaks English enough that you can have a conversation with her. But then, it's wrestling promo, Oscar, and then it's Charlotte was ready for Oscar.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Calm down.
Screaming.
That was another one of those moments during my viewing of this where my wife, who has the funniest, most racist, stereotypical Asian voice, just came out and just mocked her, and it just was the funniest thing in the world to me. We I think we have a problem, guys.
Well,
the only one making derogatory Asian accents over there is you, Mike.
I'm just saying, I'm a cunning mimic, and that's what that was my impression of what was going on. But
no, I did forget to mention that I was a little weirded out at the end of the Charlotte match because when she started screaming, I was like, "Oh, is she turning heel on Charlotte Flair?" Like, I'm like, "Oh, giving her props. Why are you screaming?"
Turning to Super Saiyan.
Yeah, guess so. We have our cool down match before the main event. This is Braun Strowman and a mystery partner taking on the Bar for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Now, first of all, entrances. The Bar comes in on a Mardi Gras float, which is weird but also funny. And of course, the reason why that float is there is so that when Braun Strowman comes out, he can push it off the stage by himself because he is a man monster. Okay. A lot of people online had qualms with how this match was booked.
Boy, people just hate children, don't they?
They do. Here's the deal, though. The whole story behind this match is that Braun Strowman thought that he could win the tag team titles by himself. So when people are like, who's his partner going to be? I'm like, I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be somebody ridiculous because the whole story is that Braun Strowman can win the tag team titles by himself. Now, I didn't think it was going to be a literal child that he plucked from the crowd. I was thinking it could be like James Ellsworth or like Gilbert or, something along those lines. But no, Braun Strowman decided before the match that he had to have a tag team partner. So he scoured the crowd and found a young 10-year-old child to be his tag team partner, who he instructed to just stand in the corner and I'll take care of the rest. And that's all that child did was he stood in the corner and Braun Strowman beat the shit out of the Bar. Now, there was some concern that perhaps this child was like a Make-A-Wish kid or something. Like people were a little concerned for his well-being. Rest easy, folks. He is actually the son of referee John Cone, who they got for this job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a medically cleared child. Don't worry, everyone. The best part of the match, of course. So you have to picture this while the match is going on. The kid's literally like clinging to the ropes in the corner, like looking like he's going to shit his pants. Like he's terrified of being where he is right now. Eventually, Braun Strowman, who'd gotten double teamed by the Bar, hot tags the kid. And now the kid's in the match. Now, also, meanwhile, Cesaro's like trash talking the kid while the match is going on, of course, as well. Just want to point out he threatened violence against a child, guys. So the kid comes in the match and he looks fucking frightened. He's like, what the fuck am I gonna do here? And so, but by that time, Braun had recovered and he was able to tag Braun in, and Braun Strowman power slammed Cesaro, and Braun Strowman and the random child whose name is Nicholas are the Raw Tag Team Champions. The child could not even hold the belt up in the air. Yeah. To celebrate with his partner. Now
that was ridiculous. It was funny, but I was like,
it is ridiculous.
Are you mad at it though?
No, I'm not.
Are you mad at it? Like, why are you people mad at it? I just don't understand. Like I sometimes I think people forget that wrestling is for children.
Goofy.
It is, yo.
And by the way, so Bill Simmons, who is a sports personality that I follow on Twitter, said my 10-year-old was way too excited about that child winning the tag team titles. Hello,
right?
That's why he did it. For the kids. everywhere who's like, maybe I too could be a 10-year-old WWE Tag Team Champion.
You know, people who are mad, you know how you have fond memories of the Attitude Era? You know why you have those fond memories? Because you were a child. You were younger.
Yes.
Like
you didn't realize how terribly overbooked everything was. So in preparation for the supposed return of Biker Taker, I watched Biker Taker's original debut, which for those who don't remember, happened during the final 2 minutes of an hour-long Iron Man match between Triple H and The Rock, in which D-Generation X and the rest of the corporation were trying like hell to make sure The Rock did not walk away with the WWE title. And when The Undertaker comes to the ring, this is during an Iron Man match, he's choke slamming everybody. Everyone, every member of DX and Shane McMahon and probably Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson too, and all those guys, and people are losing their minds because it's awesome. But I'm just like, if that happened today, people would be like, what the fuck is this Vince Russo bullshit? So again, Attitude Era, like I said, rose-colored glasses, and I get it, but it's fine that Braun Strowman has a 10-year-old tag team partner.
Right.
Champions with. Now, the question is, do these two keep the belts, or does Braun Strowman get a different partner in every city that he wrestles in?
I recuse myself because I know what happened.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah, definitely don't tell me. I'll find out when I get off of here. So finally, the ultimate match. That was the penultimate match. This is the ultimate match.
Thank you
for the evening. Brock defends his Universal Championship. He emerges from a cave like a hibernating bear once every 3 months to defend this title against Roman Reigns.
First off, did Brock look weird to you? Like he kind of had like a little bit of a turtle head going.
I couldn't tell because I was blinded by the 18 Jimmy John's logos that he was adorned with. At this point, I'm surprised like his custom side plates on the Universal title belt are not Jimmy John's. That's what I would expect to have happened.
Oh God.
So look, we've talked about this on the show before. We are all Roman Reigns, dare I say, fans?
I like Roman Reigns.
Right.
I do.
We're all fine with Roman Reigns. We acknowledge that he is the John Cena of this generation, who was the Hulk Hogan of his generation, right?
Right.
Every wrestling promotion is, I should say, every successful wrestling promotion is going to have that guy who is your marquee star.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. People continue to hate Roman Reigns, and that's fine. Normally, I don't mind when WWE steers into the skid. This match probably should have been the main event.
Not if
That's the way it was booked.
Right.
No.
Because this shit was.
And I mean, we all would have pitched a fit if they had made like the Triple H Ronda Rousey thing the main event, but it would have come out a lot better if it had. Because as problematic as this match was, the biggest problem that it had was arguably the crowd.
Yeah, because they had just spent a work day watching wrestling.
Right. You are correct. So I'm not going to go through blow by blow. Here's all you need to know about this match. Brock Lesnar took 5 spears and probably 10 Superman punches, and he did not lose. Roman Reigns kicked out of 5 F5s, including one through an announce table, and he did not win the match.
Yeah.
He also got busted open and had a crimson mask, the likes of which we haven't seen since Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin.
Yeah, that shit was gross.
13. Hard way, by the way. And yeah. So the crowd was not into this. And it showed.
Yeah, the crowd. I was as I was watching it, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the crowd? What are they cheering at?
Oh, they were cheering at either beach ball or someone getting thrown out of the arena. One of the two. It was one of those two things. We got "This is awful" chants. We of course got CM Punk chants because people ain't shit. Still. And here's the deal. 6F5 does the job, and the shock finish. So I mean, that's the one thing that I guess they got right is shocking the hell out of the crowd, who, despite the fact that they did not want Roman Reigns to win, thought with 100% surety that he would.
Right.
Which just goes to show you that people ain't shit and they just want to be right. Like, that's it, yo. People just want to be right. Like, people are so self-centered in their own shit. They just want to be right. They don't give a all right, yo.
But if you are going to have Roman Reigns, if it's going to take 6 F5s to finish him off, why would he lose that match?
Like, yeah, and at the end of that match, I'll post it in the fucking Monday Night Floor fan group. Like, what the fuck was the point?
Right, like that.
You want to make them look strong, but you've been doing that for like 3 or 4 years.
That is the strongest that any wrestler has looked ever.
And
he lost.
So like it made no sense. I'm like, yo, what the fuck did I just watch?
Hulk Hogan has never looked that strong in a WWE ring, which is amazing. There's only one other time that I can remember such a ridiculous booking of somebody happen. And that was at WrestleMania 7, when the Ultimate Warrior faced the Macho Man Randy Savage with Savage's career on the line. And the Ultimate Warrior was the recipient of 5 consecutive Macho Man flying elbow drops and still kicked out. The difference here is that Ultimate Warrior won the match after kicking out of 5 consecutive, sorry to get all Paul Heyman there, but 5 consecutive Macho Man flying elbow drops. Why did Roman Reigns lose this match other than to be unpredictable?
It didn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
I don't either.
At this point, what the fuck do you do? Like, he kicks out of 6 F5 or 5 F5s. Who's gonna beat him with what at this point?
Lest we forget. Now, again, when this match
and he got busted open, really fucking bad.
Lest we forget, even though that this match was ripe with chicanery, but it was only a little bit of chicanery. Just 2 months ago, he was pinned clean in the middle of the ring by The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
All it took was one turnbuckle. So I guess one exposed turnbuckle is more powerful than the might of 5 F5s.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Like, I don't think this makes what's his name look strong. It makes Brock's F5 look weak.
It does. And like I said, the outcome made sense today once we found out that Brock Lesnar came to his senses and was re-signed by the WWE. So I guess that's why they kept the belt on him, because I guess they figured they were close to an agreement with him, or even had one in place, and they just didn't announce it because they didn't want to throw. Vince wanted his swerve for this match. But yeah, so that was how the night ended. Brock Lesnar leaves triumphantly. No fireworks.
Brock still pull that kind of fucking money, that kind of, for them to keep re-signing him, because I'm tired of that nigga. Like, I'm like, all right, you never wrestle. You always win. You do the same shit every fucking match. Like, people really are really still into him, that they keep re-signing him to wrestle like 3 times a year.
I mean, you might as well
have Paul Heyman just.
You might as well motherfucker Doomsday at this point, because he just Doomsdayed Superman. Like,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Fucking dead.
Like, I don't. Maybe he does make them money, but I don't see it at this. I don't see it anymore. Yeah,
I don't either.
I am getting kind of tired of the same.
You know why I'm tired of him? Because and I get this is his persona that they have established. He doesn't seem like he gives a fuck. And I'm sorry, I understand, like, if you're Brock Lesnar and you're that's your attitude, but I like to at least act like you're giving a fuck about me, because if you don't act like you give a shit to be there, it makes it seem like you don't give a shit that I'm watching you or not.
Yeah.
So,
and it makes the Universal Championship look like a piece of shit, yo. Like who cares?
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, who cares who's the fucking Universal Champion? He doesn't fight for it.
I forget that there is a champion. Right. There is a Universal Championship.
So, and for some reason, after the highlight package that they show when the show's going off the air, they come back to the arena to see Roman Reigns wait for Nick Fury to come out and approach him about the Avenger Initiative. Yes, we got a stinger at the end of WrestleMania of Roman Reigns walking to the back.
I was too through, man. It was officially the next day.
Right.
And, I was like, yo, look, I enjoyed this WrestleMania. I see the hyperbole on this was the worst ever by far. Like, all right, yo, all right, because you got swerved and you didn't like being wrong. Like, I get it. I don't like being wrong either, but come on, man. Like, this was an entertaining show. My problem with this show was that it was too fucking long.
Yeah,
like, normally their pay-per-views are billed as 3 hours long, and they're like 2:45.
Well, to be fair, this one isn't. Like, they start this one early on purpose, and at this point, people understand that it's going to midnight.
Yo, I really thought that it was gonna go to at least to like 11:30, maybe 11:45. Yeah. I was not expecting it. Is long.
It's a lot of wrestling to sit through.
That's why I can never go to a WrestleMania.
Well, that's Jason how he does it, because
well, I'm mad. Yeah, because he looked like he had a real good time. Yeah, that's a work day, man. That is literally 1/3 of your day in that building. And
I would give the whole show a B+. As I remarked online, there wasn't any bad matches on this card, but there wasn't any like all-time great matches either.
Yeah, for them to be hyping up WrestleMania moment, like everybody's gonna get their WrestleMania moment. Like, there were a few, but I bought into the hype with a few that didn't live up to my standard of hype. But the ones that it's balanced out by the one that I thought was going to be just complete and utter, just a train wreck. And it had me hooting and hollering, man. So I would give this WrestleMania a B, man. I was happy with it. It was just too long.
I didn't see all of it. I can't read it.
Are you gonna go back and watch the first half?
You should. Not all of it.
You could probably skip around a little bit, but you can. Yeah. You should go back and do it.
I'm not watching the first 9 hours of fucking wrestling.
You should watch the first 2 matches, and then like the last half, the beginning and the last part of the Ronda Rousey match.
Oh, I would watch that whole match.
I mean, I would watch the whole match too, but I don't know. Terrence is
real quick. Best match of the. Actually, we can't rate this because Micah hasn't watched Takeover yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched Takeover yet.
Shucks. My nod. I've watched everything. My nod for the best match of the weekend still goes to that ladder match.
That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
All right, good, because I'm looking forward to the winner to find out who the winner of the North American NXT.
Let me tell you something, Michael. Give you something to look forward to with that match. Velveteen Dream might have entered the pantheon of elbow drops.
Yo, I really like that dude. Yo, I'm sorry, I like him. He's a good wrestler. I don't mind the gimmick. It's fucking Rick Rude meets Prince, and who doesn't love that?
And funny you say that, because his elbow drop, by the way, his elbow drop, which is I rated a top 5 elbow drop of all time. Mm-hmm. Guess what it's called?
What's that?
The Purple Rainmaker.
Come on, yo. Come on. Come on, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know who I'm talking to.
So that is that is a very long show ended for us. Make sure densepixels.com/fans. I'm not going to go through everything here because you guys know if you're still here, you fucking know at this point. But densepixels.com/fans. Join the fan group if you have not done so for some reason yet. Thank you very much for sticking in there. We will do this again at SummerSlam. But for the rest of you, we'll see you next week.
See you. Take it easy.
If you're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel, click the subscribe button while you're here and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.